I want to take a moment to thank my colleagues on the Fed committee and all of my colleagues in the county executive's office for working with me on item H, which is a special appropriation to help our small businesses that have been hit hardest, our retail and service related businesses, with what is their number one cost, rent, for many of them, and many of them count on foot traffic. I'm also thankful to the LEDC, to Latin American Development Corporation, for agreeing to administer this program. And I'm excited with the passage today that we'll be really closer to getting these funds that are critical out the door. Just briefly, this will target rent relief up to 3 months or $10,000, whichever is less, for small businesses that make less than $500,000 a year with these rent relief grants. As I mentioned, this is often the largest cost outside of labor for small retail and service-related businesses. And many of these businesses have been hit so hard by the pandemic and have not had adequate relief. We know that businesses that under 5 people, which many of these will be, comprise about 60% of the businesses in the county. And many are owned by women and people of color who have been hit particularly hard and have not had access to the PPP loans and other forms of federal, state, and local grants. Nationally, 73% of Black-owned businesses surveyed will run out of money in 3 months. That's a December public-private strategies poll that was done. 73%. Latinos have had owned businesses have had PPP loans approved at half the rate of white businesses, and an even smaller proportion of Latino-owned businesses get their full funding relative to white-owned businesses. Another devastating stat, last year in the height of the pandemic in April of 2020, 440,000 Black business owners had shut down their doors. That comprised 40% of all Black businesses nationally closed. And we know, but by comparison, at that same time, it was about 17% for white-owned businesses. So while this has hit all of us hard, it's particularly hit these businesses which fall into this category. And while we don't have specific statistics locally on these numbers, something we need to do, we know because of our size and stature and diversity, we tend to fall in line with these unfortunate trends. So this will help these businesses, and I'm really thankful to my colleagues. I hope that as we appropriate more of the new federal funding, that we can see this will be $1 million and could help up to 100 businesses. I think there's going to be oversubscription, that we can come back and use this as a targeted strategy to help these businesses get back on their feet, because they're so important to our county. So thank you to my colleagues, and thank you, Mr. President.